Hi, everybody. We are so excited to be here on International Women's Day with some of our women makers from the Slow Food Box, the Spring Slow Food Box, which we always do. Last year we did this. It was so popular. We decided to do it again. All women makers. So this is a 100% women empowered box this time. Just unveiling. This is hot off of the presses. We've got all of our new ingredients here. These lovely ladies have some great ingredients in the box. So we've got the kombu from Ocean Balance. This is really hard. It's like looking at the mirror. It's so hard. But the kombu from Ocean Balance is so amazing. Oh, Mariela's here. Hold on, let me add.
Hello.
Hi, Mariela.
Hello. Hello, all.
Now we're all in the house.
Good to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
So I was just saying, we've got the box in the store, just went live just like an hour ago. So we're really excited about it. So here's Mariel's ingredient. It's the einkorn baking mix, which is unbelievable. For those of us like me who are not natural bakers and who kind of bristle at the thought of having to, measure some of these things and do it right, this is really a brilliant thing, because then I can cook with all of these wonderful heirloom ingredients, and it's like you've homemade the first part of the recipe for me, which is fantastic. So I feel like I'm not buying some junky box mix from the store. I'm buying like, you just made the first part for me, and now I'm just adding the last ingredients. It's fantastic.
That's the idea.
I am making my family a breakfast for dinner today, and I'm going to use all the ingredients from the box dinner. We're of course going to start with some cocktails from Girl Meets Dirt with our little shrub, the lemon lavender shrub. Then we're going to move to some bacon candy using our Hollywood Marmalade, Laura Ann. This is so good. Oh my gosh, the girl knows how to do marmalade. I don't know what to tell you. She just knows how to do marmalade. It's so good. And then I'm gonna make cheddar jalapeno scones with these, and I'm gonna bake an egg in the center of it. So you have a little bit of like a savory thing going on with that. And then I'm gonna make a pot of beans with these guys. So we'll have like a little beans on the side for our little breakfast for dinner, sort of a savory dinner. So I'm gonna put everything from the box into our dinner tonight, and everybody can tune back in and see pictures of that later on. But we wanted to talk to all you guys and find out what's going on. And on International Women's Day, we're so excited to have you all here. So Laura and I are here in California. Laura, how are you doing over there in not too far from me?
I'm good. It's a little chillier up here than down by you, but brr.
What is it, like 75? Ooh.
No. Inside, I had to put a scarf on. And it's like,
oh my gosh! I know I had. It's kind of chilly today. Wow. How are you?
I'm from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, so I don't take it for granted. I've been here, gosh, probably 15 years now, and every day I want to put on shorts and barbecue because I'm just wired like that.
It's totally true.
75 and sunny. I'm going to go outside and barbecue.
But we do get all that lovely citrus fruit, thankfully, because of that. So we get to enjoy all of the lovely. I still have my garden going. The jalapenos I'm putting with the scones are coming right out of my garden today. So yeah, I'm still putting some peppers on the vine. Still pulling stuff off my vine from my garden. So, you can't argue with it. We're so lucky. Lisa's in Maine, and I doubt that her garden's growing right now.
My husband came home with some seeds today from the store, and when the snow's gone, we might think about putting them in the ground. But yeah, I'm calling in from Maine. I'm in Portland, Maine, and I think we had all of 22 degrees today. But it was a nice blue sky, so by Maine standards, it was a beautiful day. And we'll get those seeds in the ground, later on in the year.
They will happen. They will happen. My mother was in Ohio. I grew up in Ohio, so Midwestern girls, Laura and I. So this stuff is like magic. magic, I tell you. This kombu, oh my gosh. So for those who do not know what kombu is, it's a chef's secret ingredient. It really is. Like, you don't realize how much you've had kombu at restaurants, at like high-end restaurants. You would think, growing up, white girl from Ohio, I would have never thought of putting seaweed in my food. But when Lisa introduced this product to us and told us how to cook with it, and I've made dashi and I've made Asian foods with it, but I had no idea you could just throw it in everything, and it just makes it brings out all the flavors, it brings out the umami, and it doesn't add any fishiness or seafood flavor. Like, it just enhances the flavor. I was telling Lisa, I feel like it's nature's MSG. Like, it just makes everything more delicious.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how it works. Just incredible.
Seaweed is so cool. I mean, because it has all these natural glutamates that just bring out the flavor of your food. And calling it nature's MSG, I think is a great way to describe the impact it has on your cooking. But it also is just so incredibly good for you. It's the most nutrient dense plant on the planet. And it's chock full of iodine and potassium and calcium and protein and fiber. It's antioxidants, omega-3s. You know, it's just the perfect food. And on top of all that, it's sustainable. So when seaweed grows in the water, if you farm it, because we do both at Oceans Balance, we farm and we wild harvest. Farming requires no arable land, no fresh water, no fertilizer, and it actually cleans the water as it grows. It absorbs nutrients out of the water, and it helps to reduce ocean acidification. So you're actually helping the ocean as you're growing it. It's just the perfect food. And we're so glad that you're using it, Lisa, because we want people to start using it in more than just, sushi, and just include it with fun stuff like the beans. So your beans are going to take on this amazing flavor. It's going to deepen the flavor. And then it's also going to help you to digest those beans much more peacefully. So just good gut health, everything. It's great food.
Wow.
So happy with the box.
And speaking of International Women's Day, you've got to tell us about Rachel. So Rachel, who you can see her picture on our Instagram today, and we'll post on Facebook too here in a minute. But Rachel is one of the farmers who would you call them farmers?
Yeah, we do. That's right. They are farmers. Rachel's also a lobster woman. So she has a big 45-foot lobster boat that she uses to go get lobster out of that beautiful Gulf of Maine water. But seaweed farming is a great way for lobster women to diversify their income, because seaweed grows kind of counter-cyclically to the fishing season. So it's in the water right now growing throughout the winter, and it will get pulled out at the end of winter, beginning of spring. So farmers use the equipment they already have. They get to stay on the water doing what they love. And we're just thrilled to partner with women like Rachel. She works with another female fisherwoman named Teeny, and Teeny is an oyster farmer. So Teeny helps Rachel with her seaweed farm. Rachel helps Teeny with her oyster farm. And they're both up on Frenchboro, which is a beautiful, beautiful island way up north near Acadia. And it's just a picture perfect piece of scenery. And, it's just so great to be able to work with women like them in Maine and support coastal communities and keep Maine alive and keep this industry vibrant.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you guys for all that you're doing. I gotta say, and seaweed also provides CO2. It helps our atmosphere.
It does.
It does more than trees do. We think that trees are really the thing that's helping the atmosphere, but seaweed does more than trees do. So it's all the way around. This is like great for your body, great for the planet, and it also happens to be an incredibly delicious ingredient to cook with. So there's nothing bad going on there. Nothing bad going. I'm so excited to cook more with it and explore. Chicken noodle soup coming soon. That's definitely happening. I'm just excited. It's such a great ingredient. We just love it. And talking about great ingredients, so we talked with Laura. So Laura's Marmalade, best bacon candy ever.
Simple, easy, delightful.
Easy, delightful, and handpicked. So tell us a little bit about the oranges from this guy.
Well, the Hollywood marmalade is Valencia oranges, which are sweeter oranges, and cinnamon and cardamom. There's just like a little bit of spice on there. I didn't want to get too crazy because I actually made this flavor. One of my first clients when I started the company was the Marriott in Hollywood, where everybody stayed for the Oscars and stuff. And they asked me to make something for their breakfast buffet. So the Hollywood marmalade was something I just learned how to make marmalade from Taylor, actually, who just retired this year. Very famous jam lady for all of you that know June Taylor. He taught me how to make marmalade. So that was my first year and one of my first jams in the company. Very exciting. But I made it for them. I wanted it to be a little special and have something different. And that's why I wanted to do this cinnamon and cardamom. But being that it was for a hotel buffet, I was also conscious like it can't be too spicy or too weird. You know, you have to be careful because it's a mom and dad or someone from another country. I'm representing Los Angeles.
No pressure.
I know, no pressure. But it ended up just staying for the whole time of my company. It's one of my most popular flavors and just bright and awesome. Makes great cocktails. A really amazing, like just simple martini. It's really good.
You know, and I think we made a mezcal something, I think, with this one time because we like mezcal, like we're mezcal people. I'm pretty certain we made a little something with mezcal sometime with this too. I mean, it loves everything. It's amazing. It's amazing marmalade. It's really so delicious. How long have you been in business, Laura?
It's been, well, officially 2009. And I know that just because I just did my business license renewal. And I was like, oh, how cute, 2009. So, and then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's been that long? It's crazy. It's gone by so quickly.
It has gone by so quickly.
I know.
Mariella, how long have you been in business? How long have you been making flowers and baking?
My most recent stint started I've done this before, on and off. We traveled a lot. My husband is ex-military, Navy, so we moved around a lot. So I couldn't. So I had there were years back when I started this, and then I had to stop it because we moved. So I did that maybe 2 or 3 times, but then we essentially retired. And once we did that and came back to Pennsylvania, which is where we had spent the most time at, I decided, well, why not, you know? So I started all over again, and that was 2014. So it's going on, 7 years now about?
Yeah. So why einkorn? So like I'm a big fan of einkorn. I love einkorn. But usually, like I say, I'm not a baker, so usually I'm tasting other people's baked goods with einkorn, marveling at how delicious it is. So tell me a little bit about why you chose einkorn.
Well, I still do a lot of farmers markets, and I mean, the number of people who came up to our table and asked whether we had anything gluten-free is, I would say that maybe 10% of the people who showed up at the table would ask that question. And my answer was always no, but then I started looking into it and trying to learn more about it. And when I realized the list of the ingredients that went into gluten-free products, I decided I don't want to go there because basically it's a lot of starches and so on and so forth. I figured there's very little nutrition there. And I was always, in my whole baking career, I was always very nutrition oriented because that was important to me for my children and so on and so forth. And so anyway, so I kept thinking to myself, there's got to be something else that I can give these people, maybe another, another alternative. So, and I stumbled across the ancient grains, which I've been a baker in my life ever since I got married. I was using organic products and figured that organic flour was about as good as it gets. But once I realized that there was this whole just niche of not just organic flours, but also ancient. So in other words, they've not been hybridized. Scientists haven't touched them, and so on and so forth. So they're pure. So that was my first glimmer of hope as far as, okay, this is the way for me to go. And then once I did the research into all the flours, I realized that my best choice, I should probably go with einkorn, just for the simple reason that was the earliest grain. Einkorn is the mother of all the other grains, essentially. All the other grains, all the other flours in the wheat category are derived from einkorn. So being that I figured these people who are looking for something that's gluten-free have an issue to begin with, as far as digestion is concerned, and so on and so forth, then I should give them the simplest of all the wheats and the most pure. And so that's why I decided on einkorn. I use others. I use kamut, which is basically the second tier of all the flours, periodically. And I do have to use some spelt occasionally, although only one variety. Just because you can't do everything with einkorn. You cannot, for example, well, at least me, I can't make a good pound cake with it. It won't absorb that much butter, and so on and so forth. And spelt would be the perfect alternative for that. So that's the reason. So.
Yeah, I find that the texture of baked goods with einkorn is
wonderful.
So flaky. Just kind of this light, beautiful texture.
It's very, very, very soft. It's a very soft.
It's like silky too. Like when you
very
silky texture. So beautiful. It's really, really lovely, and it tastes divine. I mean, it's just delicious using it. So I'm really excited to be baking with this later on today. I'm sure everyone's going to be very, very excited about the biscuits and the scones I'm going to make later on today for our breakfast with dinner. It's so good. Einkorn is a really interesting grain, and we've had last month in the box we had a whole grain einkorn berries, wheat berries, from Bluebird Grain Farms. But so now we get to have a nice baked good. And for those of us who aren't bakers, I thought that the mix was a really great choice because it's so easy. And let's face it, we've all been baking through COVID, and I'm kind of baking out. I'm like, I discovered my inner baker during COVID. I made bread. I made sourdough. I've got a sourdough culture now in my freezer, and I'm like, holy cow! I never thought I would do so much, and I'm kind of like, I could use a break. So this just sounded like a really good option for all of us who are kind of baked out of COVID at this moment. But it's really going to be delicious, and we're so excited about the box, and I'm so excited to have such a great women-forward box. So cheers to you, ladies.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to all of us girls. All right.
That's right.
Well, thank you, ladies. I will let you guys go back to your evenings. I'm sure you have pots on the stove, things to do, orders to fulfill, like always, right? Well, thank you all very much. I encourage everyone to check out everyone here, their website, and check out their other products. We only carry one little sample thing inside the box. Check out all the really great, delicious products. I'm going to tell you, Laura Ann has an amazing assortment of jams in her store. Ocean's Balance has a product we carried for a little while. I want to get back, but we don't have it now. You got to get it from Ocean's Balance. It's called the kelp puree, and it's like magic in a bottle. And Mariella, you have so many amazing baking products on your site. So for all the bakers out there, I got to tell you, you got to go check out her site. She's got great products, great flours, amazing stuff. So everybody check them out and get your slow food box because these suckers sell out so fast every single time. They will not be here next month. I can guarantee you it will not be here next month. So they've sold out in as little as like 14 days before. So grab your box fast before they're gone.
Very good.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.